completing yesterday's story. So you will remember yesterday's story was, so the Rebbe needed smicha from the Chassidic age, the author of Chassidic age, Rabbi Yaakov Weinberg, the head of the seminar for Rabbonim in Berlin, begun. He needed, because that's his shlichus, he needed to have access to the libraries of the university. And he was reluctant to give him because it's a whole process. So he says, you give me any sefer 24 hours and then test me. And he was tested on a sefer that the Chassidic had written, a complicated sefer that deals with Pinoi at Somis Mesim, moving a person that's buried from one location to another, very complicated halachas, all the laws of tahara, of purity, and so on. And it was cute at the end. He says, he gave him, of course, the smicha, and he says, I had one condition. I want you to attend my shiurim, which the Rebbe did. So he said, I had the schus, he said, later, he survived the war, I told you. And he told the story many times that the Rebbe, the Lubavitcher Rebbe, was one of my students. Now, in brackets, he adds here two things. A number of years ago, after Gimel Tammuz, when the Rebbe's Rishimis were discovered and published, so we see there's all these notes on, the Rebbe's notes on this sefer of the Chassidic age, the Pinoi Atzomis Meisim, moving the bones of the dead. And these were notes on the contras that Weinberg had published earlier in 1926. This is 1928 that the Rebbe did that. And so the date, 1928, is exactly when the Rebbe had come to the seminary. Clearly, these notes are that story. And it's very complicated and complex. And what's interesting is that many years later, when they published the Chassidic Esha by Weinberg's Sefer, they published it with the Rebbe's notes from his Rishimis that were published after Gimel Tammuz. And a final comment, clear? Final comment, the chief rabbi of Philadelphia was Rabbi Yalis. When he passed away, said Baruch Leizerovsky. Rabbi Yalis was a very special person. He was part of the whole Tavshin Yud. He was a Goen Otzum, and you see his picture of the Steinmal, sitting by the Fabreng, and he always said to the Rebbe's right. He was a Goen in Chassidus, in Nigel, and in Kabbalah. And he was one of the first to push the Chassidim, to push the Rebbe, as it were, to accept the Nesius. So when he passed away, they took over the chief rabbi of Philadelphia, Rabbi Baruch Leizerovsky, a Litvish Rosh Yeshiva. And he had been, before the war, the Av Bezdin in Munich, big Gaon. So he relates as follows about the Chassidic Yesh, Rav Weinberg. He says, when I left Munich, this is Rabbi Lazarson speaking, for America, so I went to, I think he came before the war, I don't know. So I went to take leave of Rabbi Yaakov Weinberg, who was considered one of the greatest goinim of his time. He said to me, this is after the war, yeah. He says, you're going to America, so you should know there that there's the Lubavitcher Rebbe. Try and see him and listen from him, for he is Adam Godel B'Yisrael, or Hu Adam Godel B'Yisrael. He is the true leader. And Taka, Rabbi, I don't know if he came to Fabrengens, I don't know, but there's many videos of him coming by for $. This Rabbi Leizerovsky spoke. He used to speak to Sima Rambams. I just saw a video recently, Bashkacha Pratis, where he asked the Rebbe, what should he speak at the Sima Rambam? So the Rebbe's answer basically was that whatever anybody's learning till now, they have to be Moishe, more, be Machadish. And he's a tremendous bittul you can see when he comes to the Rebbe. So this is all a story of before the Nesius and its Hemshech afterwards. Have a wonderful day, my dear friends. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow, friends, at 6 o'clock. Be'ez Hashem. A wonderful day. Lamotche, safe trip.